Or is this full-time MMA now?
I love full-time MMA right now.
Full-time MMA?
MMA,
Nothing
yeah.
else?
My life, man, yeah.
Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full-time
MMA.
Colby Chaos Covington is sharing his scorecard for the super epic Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero rematch we saw at UFC 225, which turned out to be the best fight of the night, hell, potentially the best fight of the year. Robert Whittaker and Yoel Romero fought a fucking war in which Robert Whittaker, like the first fight, sustained an injury earlier into the fight, but still stayed in there and had to deal with the fucking savage Yoel Romero, who almost finished Robert Whittaker about 3 separate times, lasted all the way into the 4th and 5th round. The war continued. You might have thought Yoel Romero's cardio brought it into question after potentially missing weight by 0.2 pounds, or you might have thought Robert Whittaker, after having that hand injury, for sure wasn't going to be able to make it to the 5th round and survive, but he was able to kick his way to victory, and it ended up being just an amazing performance, a great night of fights before that, and then this was the cherry on top, the main event. That doesn't always happen. The main event is not always the best fight on the card, but that was the case for UFC 225, so for sure, hats off to Yoel and Robert Whittaker. But Colby Chaos Covington, who actually fought in the co-main event versus Rafael dos Anjos and became the UFC's interim welterweight champion the same night, gave his scorecard after the fight. Yoel Romero is a teammate and a good friend of Jorge Masvidal, who is best friends with Colby Covington. So you can imagine Colby Covington's alliances are with Jorge Masvidal's boy. So maybe a little biased in that sense, but even Colby Covington, who likes to piss people off and is a little biased, said this was a super epic fight. And he also said, talking about Yoel Romero, he dropped Whittaker multiple times. He had Whittaker in danger multiple times. But I don't know, man. I just don't know what the judges are thinking. That's what sucks about our judging system. You just never know what's going to happen when you leave it in the judges' hands. And that's true, man. And that really fucking sucks if you're a fighter. I'm not going to lie. Like, that uncertainty, knowing that even if I win the fight, if I don't get a finish, I could potentially lose. And that's very, very fucking real in MMA. You could look even better than Yoel Romero did here. And still, we've seen worse robberies. If you think this was a robbery for Robert Whittaker, we've seen way worse robberies. And normally what you hear is, don't leave it in the hands of the judges. You got to go for that finish. Which is why I say, it would have been so fucking hilarious if 2 judges would have scored the fight for CM Punk versus Mike Jackson. I know it almost seems impossible. What if they got pissed off at the showboat? I'm going to say that we've seen worse decisions than Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero, and that would have been absolutely crazy. But Yoel Romero, and this is another, you say don't leave it in the hands of the judges. Here's another thing. Yoel almost finished the fight 3 times. 2 times, I thought Whittaker was out of there. I'm surprised he was able to recover. That's what made it such a great fight. But there was 3 times Yoel almost got the finish. And so, with that thinking, can't leave it in the hand of the judge. It's just like, I'm going for the finish. I almost had the finish. You're telling me, it just doesn't almost seem fucking... I don't know. I mean, we see this in other sports, and we've seen it for a while now, so it's not something too much to harp on, but it almost doesn't seem right. You know what I'm saying? As far as I have to get the finish to guarantee my win. You know what I'm saying? It's like, are we fighting or are we finishing in here? If I have to get the finish to guarantee my win, that's unfortunate. But hey, man, if you don't want to be subject to the judges' decisions, who knows? Adelaide Bird could be working. They could just, who knows what the specific judges are watching for each night. So that's always going to be a wild card as far as what the judges were watching for. You might think, oh, they're going to give it to their home countrymen. If the fights are in Brazil, you assume that the Brazilian's going to get the decision every time. That's not always the case. We saw a very close fight with Jacare and Kelvin Gastelum, and Kelvin Gastelum got his hands raised. So you never, ever, ever know what the fuck the judges are watching for. You don't. So with that being said, anytime it goes to a decision, man, you kind of just got to rock with the judges, which is what Colby's doing here. And he said, you just never know what's going to happen when you leave it in the judges' hands. But it was a super epic fight between Robert Whittaker and Yoel Romero. And with that being said, man, let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you guys think about, what was your scorecard for Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero? Did you guys have the fight for Whittaker? I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't watching the fight. I didn't feel biased watching the fight, but I was a little tipsy, and also Robert Whittaker's a light-skinned gamer, so I could have had a subconscious bias I didn't know about. But I honestly wasn't surprised when his hand was raised at the end. And also, you know what they say, in order to be the champion, you have to beat the champion. And even if Yoel Romero's hand was raised, he's not the champion, right? Because he missed weight by 0.2 pounds. Now, as far as why he missed weight, it's because the commission allegedly stopped him from cutting weight. Yoel's looking at a potential lawsuit with the commission. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. But as far as the fight is concerned, I say in order to be the champion, you have to beat the champion. Whoo! Nature Boy Ric Flair in this bitch. With that being said, man, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out. And as always, thanks for checking out this video. If you're new, or if you're just slipper slacking on your pimping, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. And if you want to help support this independent channel, you can either click the PayPal button in the description, or you can go to patreon.com/fulltimemma and consider becoming a patron. I'm out.
This is #1 bullshit.